Hi, I'm Lori with Local Life Magazine, and welcome to my kitchen. Vegetables, vegetables, vegetables. I love vegetables. My husband loves vegetables. If you look at our plate almost every night, Monday through Friday, there's 2 helpings of vegetables and 1 protein. But my particular favorite is butternut squash soup. So I thought I would concentrate on that for you today. So butternut squash soup sounds ridiculously hard to make, and it's not. What is ridiculously hard is cracking this nut. It's very difficult. If you go to the grocery store, I think squash has caught on enough that they actually can take a butternut squash and cube it for you, which makes the whole home cook so much easier. But for you professional chefs, I thought I'd show you how to do it. What I did previously is I stuck the butternut squash in a microwave for about 3 minutes. With a size this big, it was probably a little bit too much. It was kind of hot to the touch. So if it's a little bit smaller, maybe cut it back to a little bit less. So let's go ahead and get started on our butternut squash soup and have fun. Remember, cooking is all about creativity. So the first thing I like to do is go ahead and chop off the ends of the butternut squash. Oh, that I can tell it's gonna be good. And then you wanna work with your peeler. And I'm obsessed over this peeler. I've had it 2 weeks, and this was like $4, I think. So good, I love it. You've cut off this. Now all you do is start taking your peeler and you simply just peel it. See how easily that peels? It's not scary. It's not frightening. This soup, I have to tell you, is one of my husband's favorite soups. It's a little messy. A messy cook is a good cook, so they say. But then you've got to clean up afterwards. Okay, so we have all that cleaned up. Next, you want to go ahead and chop it in half. Sharp knife, your friend, always, always. Then you take this, and you'll see in the big ball, you want to cut around the seeds. Now the seeds are like a pumpkin, so you can roast them and make something out of those seeds, which would be delicious. Look at this. In like a minute, we've already chopped up this gigantic, it's not that gigantic squash. You want to make the pieces for your soup about this size, about that size. Next in this recipe is an onion. So these happen to be velvety onions. We are crossing over from summer to winter, but I still have some velveties left. And you do your typical peeling, your dicing. This one doesn't have to be too small because the chunks can be bigger because they're going to be boiling. So you quickly do your cuts. Remember, cooking is all about being creative. I say that over and over, and I mean it with the bottom of my heart. Cooking is creative. And that's what I love about butternut squash soup. That's what I love about squash in general, because it takes on so many different flavors. You put cheese with it, it's one way. You put nutmeg with it, it's a different way. It's a perfect vegetable to cook with. All right, so now what we need to do is go ahead and transfer this to the stove. We've done all of our prep work. Stove time. Okay, so we're ready to cook our soup. I use a Dutch oven. So we're going to go ahead and put in a little bit of butter, and then we're going to also add some olive oil. I just sprinkle it around like this. So let's go ahead and put in all of our prepared squash. And if you can see how unbelievably simple this is. Now there's something important when you cook. And I think I've heard the chef say this about, 400 bazillion times. You always want to season as you go. You don't want to dump all your seasonings at the end and expect it to be perfect. You have to layer your seasonings. So go ahead and add your salt. And where's my pepper guy, which as we all know is my friend. I love my pepper grinder. He gives me different size peppers. That's why I like him so much. And then it's simply a matter, you can put on a good show and just let it go simmer a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and add our chicken stock to this. Like I said, it's about 6 cups. I think I'm gonna add a little bit less. Creativity, remember. And I'm gonna save a little bit in case it is a little bit too thick. Now keep this on a good simmer You'll take a minute to get back up and let it simmer for just about 20 minutes. And then we'll be ready to make soup out of it. It'll be perfect. Okay, so we're now have left the stove. We're back here, and you can see in here we have our onions and we have the squash. This is an immersion blender. It kind of scares me a little bit. I was going to use the regular blender, but then you have to transfer hot liquid over to the blender. And frankly, I need to get better at this. So I'm going to go ahead and use the immersion blender and just see what kind of mess I make. So let's go. Okay, so far, not bad. This is kind of fun. Oh my God, I like it. Whoops, that didn't feel good. And also with the immersion blender, if you don't have it straight down and you tilt it a little bit to the side, like I just did a few minutes ago, it does splatter out just a tiny bit. So just be really mindful of when you're dealing with hot liquids that it can be kind of dangerous. Just to finish it off, I have a little bit of nutmeg. I was a soup judge one time, and they had all the local chefs making their best soup ever, and we got to judge on what we thought was the best soup ever. And I fell in love with this one particular butternut squash soup. And I went up to the chef later. He was a chef at one of the hotels, and I said, okay, what makes yours different than everybody else's? And he said, I have a secret ingredient. And I said, well, what would that be? And he said, peanut butter. I said, in your butternut squash soup? You're kidding me, right? And he said, no, try it. And I did. And I'll be honest, Skippy peanut butter, if you don't know, is the best. It's the most peanutty and the best. If you go and look at all the research, they will say it's the best. So use your Skippy peanut butter. Season with salt, like I said. You've got to season. And your pepper. And this is also the point where you look at it and say, is it thick enough? Is it not thick enough? So we're going to put in a little bit of cream. It just adds just so much flavor and depth. Let me taste it for seasoning before you serve it. Oh my gosh. A little bit more salt. You always want to taste before you serve it to your people, because you do not want to taste, you do not want them to see, not to see what you want to see. A little bit, I'm going to put a little bit of cinnamon in because I feel like it. That's the part of being creative. All right, kids. As I always say, all right, we're ready to serve it. Okay, it's time. Our easy peasy soup is now finished. It didn't take that long at all. Take a beautiful bowl. Well, it's kind of a white bowl, but it's beautiful to me. And then I like to top it with fun toppings. I like to put in a few pomegranate seeds. More good stuff for you. Just a few maybe pistachios. You put those on top. A dollop of sour cream. And look at this beautiful soup we have. You have to enjoy it with a very good, I use Pinot Noir. I know it's probably more of a summer, but I like it year round. So let's taste our soup and see how we did. Oh my gosh, I can tell you it smells amazing. I'll tell you what, there's nothing better than butternut squash soup. It is not hard to make, it is delicious. And I say, bon appetit.